Hey guys, welcome back to Pennsylvania Patriot. Do a little cartridge talks today, and we're going to talk about the 243 Winchester. So, been around for a long time. Put some other cartridges in the dirt, some really good cartridges, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about this little handy dandy round that I think's one of the best ones out there. It's a absolutely fantastic round for what it was designed for, which was a dual purpose cartridge for deer and varmint style hunting. Um, I think there's better ones for both, but if you're in Pennsylvania or a state where you have stuff that's deer size and down, this is a good one. A lot of people use it to hunt other stuff. Many elk have been shot with 243, but so 243, it was developed around 1952 by Warren Page, and he was a writer for Field and Stream, and he was kind of a wildcatter. He was a Harvard educated guy, and he was just messing around. And he was toying around with these 6 millimeter bullets, and so around 1952, he was writing about it. He had developed it, and he's writing, and he's talking about this, and Winchester kind of caught on with it, and they said, we're going to put it in a bolt gun. And so in 1955, they introduced the first 243 to the commercial public in the Model 70 Winchester, which is known as the rifleman's rifle. It's a very, very popular rifle, especially the pre-64 ones, and this would have been that. So it has a rim diameter of 473, which is really nice for reloaders and barrel and rifle makers, because that is the same rim on so many cartridges. Old Granddad, where they pretty much came from, 30-06, 308, and the 308 is the parent of the 243. A lot of things spawn from the 308. You really can't talk about the 243 without talking about the 308. But so the 308 spawned multiple cartridges just by necking down the neck and putting a smaller bullet in, and they went up on them too. 338 Federal, 358 Win. There's a lot of good stuff that came from the 308. But so it's a 60,000 psi cartridge, which that's a modern loading, and there's many cartridges that are doing that, and that gets you your velocity. You're pushing bullets faster, and velocity translates into energy if you follow that rule of thumb. I wish they'd come out with a better system on this energy crap, but we'll just talk about it anyway. So they take velocity times the mass, and you divide it, and this and that gives you foot-pounds of energy. I've said it in my other videos, and yada yada yada. But I think a better realistic version of what this does is putting it on an animal, putting the bullet in the right place, and using the right bullet. It'll do the job. Just plain and simple. So, but the 243 kind of like took out an older cartridge. It's one of my favorites, and that's this guy. On the slightly longer one is a 257 Roberts, and this is a plus P loading from Hornady. It's one of their super performance loads. It's a 117 grain bullet, and that's doing right at 3,000 feet a second. It's like 2945, and if you follow the energy stuff, it's 2,253 feet or foot-pounds, of energy. With this American whitetail, and I'm going to compare it with a super performance load, so don't get too crazy on me, but this American whitetail is 2960 for 100 grain, with 1945 foot-pounds of energy. So technically speaking, there's a few hundred foot-pounds more energy in this guy, if you follow that. But if you would go to the Superformance, I don't have a box here with the 243, they make it in a 95 grain. It's doing 3185, so it's going faster, but it's still at 2139 foot-pounds of energy versus a 2253 from the Roberts. I love the 257 Roberts. It is an awesome caliber. I harvested a I harvested a buck last year with it, and it was just bang flop. It was with this ammo. I do have stuff to hand load for it, but I got a lot of that, so we'll shoot it for right now, and it shoots good. Metric terms on this cartridge is a 6 by 52 millimeter for the 243, and the other cartridge that it put like in the dirt, it's a shame, it was another really great cartridge. I used it extensively in my early 20s. It was a 6mm Remington, and when it first came out, it was called the 244 Remington, and they had twisted the barrel wrong, and then it didn't stabilize the other bullets, and it didn't do really well, so it suffered with accuracy. So they later respun the barrel to a different twist rate and called it the 6mm, and by then it was too late. The 243 had caught on, won the hearts of Americans across the nation, and it just dominated. It dominated the smaller bore, short action. It just, and people still to this day love it. And there's good reasons for it. So you can get a variety of loadings from these. I've seen 243 down, I think as low as I've seen it was 55 grain. I know Hornady has a VMAX load. It's 58 grain. That's smoking. It's doing 3,925 feet a second. That's like a rock chuck, coyote, groundhog, bobcat, fox. That's like a rocket sending to them. Another really good loading is Barnes has the 80 grain. It's a TTSX, and that's a monolithic, so it's copper. It's going to open up. It's going to hold together, and man, I think it's one of the best loadings for the 243, and that's doing 3350. And then these guys here, these are 2960, and this is probably one of the more popular ammunitions, this American Whitetail, Remington Core Lock, Winchester PowerPoints, that you're going to see most Americans use. I don't think a lot of people are out buying super premium ammo for a 243 because you really don't need to. It's right there at that, when you're hunting the deer size game, it's right there at that 3,000 and below feet per second. And a lead core bullet's just going to really work good for you. I don't have any of these loaded right now, but this is what I like to shoot. These are the Sierra Game King 85 grain hollow point boat tails. And these are dynamite, guys, on deer. Let me pull one out and show you. They're just little dudes. Just a wee little guy. Nice, if I can get it to focus. Nice big hollow point on them. Their boat tail. Cute little bullet. I get really good accuracy out of those. And I'm telling you what, they're lightning on deer. But I think they're just a really good all-round bullet. Like if you just wanted to load one bullet for white, I'm going to say whitetail because that's what I hunt here. These would work for mule deer too, within the ranges of the capable limits, I should say, of the cartridge. But so what else can I say about 243 that hasn't been said, because so many people love it? They come in usually nice compact rifles. It's often referred to as a youth or ladies cartridge, and I think that's not warranted. I know a lot of big burly guys that would not leave their house to the deer woods without a 243. They love their 243s, and I can't say I blame them. I've shot quite a few deer with them, and I've never had one get away. They've actually, I don't think I've ever had any run. They've just fell down dead. My son's first deer he ever harvested was a really nice white-tailed doe at about, I'd say, 150 yards, and Stone dropped that deer. I mean, just he put a nice shot right off the back of the scapula, double lunged it straight down, and it worked great. And that's one of the beauties for the Winchester, the 243 Winchester, is it's pretty light recoil. And I mean, it's not a 223. The one Savage I have, it's a Savage kind of to shoot. It's just a bad stock design. And my 257 Roberts kicks way less, and that gun's an ultralight rifle. And the 243 is probably a maybe 8-pound gun, or maybe a little more, with scope and everything on it. And it's just a stock design, but it kind of boots you. But nothing that nobody can't handle. I think I think that the 243 would be a better cartridge to start a kid out than on deer than a 223, just because you're getting more bullet mass and weight. But I do believe that the 243, you have to respect its limitations and boundaries. Like, the people that are really successful with it, they know the gun really well, they know its limitations, and they can shoot it really, really accurately. Because its bullet diameter is small, there's more of a margin for error by shooting that caliber. So keep that in mind. I mean, I don't have a young child anymore, but if I was to pick a youth cartridge, and if they were big enough for a full sized, short action rifle, this is going to raise some eyebrows, but I'd probably pick a 6.5 Creedmoor before I pick a 243. Just because the Creedmoor is very, very soft on the shoulder. There's a lot of bullet mass there. They're typically a lot heavier, 140 grains, 130, 140. Some go up to 147 and beyond, but you're going to have a lot deeper penetration and a little bit more room for error. But nothing is an excuse for a poor shot. I mean, you have to make good shots on animals. And it's often been referred to that the 243 is more of the marksman's round. And I had a friend years ago that his uncle would call deer, and he exclusively used the 243. He hunted it calling deer for whatever location it was back then, with a spotlight and a 243. He had a license to do it. I can't recall where it was in the United States, but that's what he used, and with great success. So I think one of the biggest things to bring up about the 243, though, is it's always on the top of the charts for ammunition sales. It's up there. It's way, way up there. So it's usually always easy. Now it's getting better, since we got rid of that stupid COVID crap, to find ammunition for it. It's one of those things that you're going to walk into a Walmart or your little mom and pop gas stations like we have around here. Some of our gas stations and grocery stores sell ammunition, and some of them still sell firearms. There's one down in Berlin, Pennsylvania, that they still sell ammunition, firearms right at the gas station, which is really cool. You don't see a lot of that anymore, but you're going to see that a lot more than walking in looking for some 257 Roberts stuff, because this stuff's hard to find. And if you own one and you find it, buy it up, because it's really hard to get. Hornady is one of the major loading facilities for that cartridge, and They make it in runs, so it's kind of hard to find. But 243, and you just find it everywhere. And I would say that the 243 is just like a 30-06 in the manner of it's so popular that if a gun manufacturer comes out with a rifle, or even their old ones, excuse me, their old ones, whatever, they're going to chamber it in 243. It's going to be, that's going to be one of their chamberings. You might not find one in 7mm08, another great caliber, but you're going to find it in 243. I mean, it's just how it is. So, thanks to Warren Page, way back when, before I was born, to coming out with such a great cartridge that stood the test of time. And, maybe if you have a 243 and, you've had success, leave me some comments. I would appreciate it. Let me know what your favorite loading is. And by the way, if you hear a noise in the background, let me put it down here. Let's see if I can catch this. Now that I said it, he quit. My beagle is underneath my feet and he's snoring. so if you hear noises on the video and you wonder what, it's not my stomach growling, it's my beagles. I have 3 of them. I have Gunnery, Sergeant Handwork, and Duke, and Sergeant. So Sarge is our oldest one, but anyway, they're all laying here. They just ate and they're snoring, they're happy, and their bellies are full. So, hey guys, I really appreciate you tuning in, and thanks for watching my videos. I mean, I just do this for fun, and I don't make any money, but if you subscribe, it shows me I'm doing something, that you like the videos, and hopefully it throws a little bit of knowledge out to you. I probably didn't mention it, but I should probably. The 243 is a 6mm. It's a 6mm cartridge, and if you have a 243, I don't suggest you run out and buy one of the new 6mm Creedmoors. Really great cartridge, but if you have a 243 and you're just a deer hunter, don't feel like you need to get a 6mm Creedmoor, because the 243 can do exactly what a 6mm Creedmoor does. There's no need to get one. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my dog snore. Aim small, miss small. We'll catch you next time.